How are we doing? Turn on the music a little bit. How are we feeling? Raw. I was away for a week. I had a good time being away, but unfortunately I wasn't able to stream. I also tried to film it, and then I don't know how to explain it. It just wasn't working. And then the submissions cleared before I got a chance to try again. Yo, what's up, Hayes? Yo, Kelly B, what's up? Alright, let me switch to this. I love this song so much. This song is so good. Also, I really like that you can see the I like this idea. I like this whole thing of the fans thing of seeing like which people have like played it, because you see people like Whiffy Cat just playing it like 1,000 times. It's like crazy. Whoa! Oh my god. I really wish I was good enough to read this. I might Google Translate this later. Wait, let me. Oh, wrong tab. Here we go. My eyes. I am on the leaderboard on so many tracks. Hell yeah, dude. Wait, let me see if I can refresh this. Ah, it's better. There we go. Yeah, we'll Google Translate this after. Alright, let's take a listen. We're starting off with. Whoa. Starting off with Lux is crazy. Alright, let's go. I'm not muted. Stop lying. Stop trolling me. Oh my god. Oh my god, what an intro. I like these drums. Those are cool. Whoa. They're already nasty, holy. Wow. Wow, this is cool. Bro, what is this lead in the back? Whoa. Wow, what a nice build. It's like looping so long. Haze equals distortion, literally. This is so creative, this is so good. This is so good. I love how creative you are, man. You're genuinely one of like the most undiscovered talents. I think genuinely it would be... Sorry, I started reading what's in the description mid-sentence and it confused the fuck out of me because I'm pretty sure it's all complete translate nonsense. I don't know what past progesterone, just effective products, discounted products means. Maybe I'm just not deep enough to understand. But I have a feeling it's more to do with the lyrics. Reminds me of Creo Aura. It has Aura. It definitely has Aura. Okay. For the most part, I think like the creative content is super good. It's a long intro, which I still don't love just because it takes a really long time to build up to this, but I like what you're doing with it. I feel like you've gotten a lot better at making the breaks engaging. I still think there's some room left or some things that you need to do, mostly just like having some element of like low end, even if it's not like all the way down in the sub-region, just having another low end element, even if it's just a respace, I think would make this first break really good, specifically here. Like here, I think just having a just like a nice little res, or you can even have like a dung, do 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 do, like some sort of like more plucky type of bass could also work. I feel like that would just make the progression of the break more engaging, because this is the only part like between here and when the drums come in gets kind of not boring, but it's just you want something else. You want like another element to progress the story. I think that the drop is really good. I just don't know how I feel about the fact that it's less stereo than the breaks. It feels like it's at least in headphones, it's kind of losing a bit of its power. Because this is super wide. To me, this type of drop should be wider. So I don't know whether that means you need to take your leads wider or the chords wider, or have just more movement. But the fact that it's your main elements here are fairly central, for my taste, I just would prefer if it was wider. I feel like it would complement the whole vibe, and it will also give you more room to build in and give each layer that you have more space. So that's that. I like this breakdown. I think it's cool. It feels like it's in VFX, there's this idea called the uncanny valley, which is when something that's computer generated looks like it's trying to be real, but it doesn't quite look real yet. So it sits in this like weird area. You have it in more than just VFX, but it's like this, you have it in drawing as well, where something is like, it looks realistic, but it's not quite there yet, but it's not quite stylized enough to like engage your sense of Oh, what? Oh my god, I'm blanking. That's fine. But you kind of don't see it as like a stylized piece of artwork, and I feel like this kind of mixing wise falls in the same place, where it's sort of, it could either be like a really cool, nostalgic from the mix perspective, like retro, MP3 from your iPod from 15 years ago type of sound to the mix of this, or it could be something that's cleaner and more modern and powerful and like, sharper and exciting. And it's somewhere in between those in a way that doesn't feel super satisfying. Personally, I think the first one would be more cool. Just because I think if it has like, if you do more bit crushing on these elements, more of these like slapbacky type of delays or cool like short delay effects, it could really add a lot of sort of compound the creative vibe of this. But this involves sort of making the high end a little bit noisier and also like have less range. So like making the stuff past like 12K a lot quieter or crushed. And also the low end is like a little too clean for that first vibe. Or you can go in the other direction, which is just make everything more powerful, use a little bit more like clean distortions, just like basic like tube or transistor type stuff. Okay, are those Sennheiser Pro 2080s? No, they aren't. They are DT770 Pros. Long intros are very nice when done right, which in my opinion he did well on. Guitar bass? Yeah, guitar bass would go hard in the intro. My bad, I haven't been reading chat. Expression Lo-Fi, hello. Welcome. If you want to send a demo, I think it's in the pinned comment. Alright. Think that's it. Oh, last thing. The build here is cool. This part needs more direct automation because it kind of just, it's a little too samey for too long. And with this type of effect, or this type of build, you really don't have a lot of time, if it makes sense, to like let it ring out. It kind of gets like, it alienates me as a listener very quickly because it takes you so far out of all of this melodic stuff that's going on. So you really need to make sure that it's like moving along and we're getting like really clear and distinct automation that's telling us like we're going up and we're going more and more and more energy for you to then cut it. And yeah, here again, I just the drop I think could be wider. Okay, that was a lot, but there was a lot to talk about. Late Eyes. Okay, we're gonna have another banger. Let's see now if this is gonna be another UK bass type of banger. Good start. Reese bass. It's probably technically not a Reese bass, but it sounds a little more analog. Holy. Ooh. I like the vibe of this. Yeah, we're definitely going for the UK bass vibe. Yeah. Oh, those drums are so good. Oh. So choppy. Okay, we're going deep. bell. I know that snare from a mile away. Yeah, the bass is definitely an issue. Okay, I'm very curious now if we're going to switch the vibe here, because this is a big build. Yeah, okay. I'd be curious how much time was spent, because it doesn't sound like... This sounds like it's very work in progress, but it's a good start for sure. I like whatever the sample is at the end too, but feels... Okay, I think this is cool. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. The first thing I'll say is just that I think you can physically see my reaction on the... Is that like... This lead here is super ear rape. Like, it just... It literally just comes in randomly like a jump scare. It has like this strong attack as well, like the strong transient. That just, it's kind of funny, to be honest. So I'd say the intro, honestly... I'm not sure why you have this here, because it doesn't... It's like nice for vibes, but it doesn't really connect well with everything else that's going on. This would be fine if you were doing like an extended mix to use stuff like this. But it doesn't... I don't think it needs to be here. I would just like move this into a different part of your project, but cut it from the arrangement and start directly with this, because this is way more captivating here. This has like super nighttime drive, you know, really grungy vibes. To add to that, I'm a big advocate of like... Personally, I like really, really detailed tracks. My taste in music is like, when I make stuff, I don't want any one part of the arrangement to sound the same as something else that's happening in a different part of the track. I really like enjoy having replay value. Not every song needs that, but here, a really easy way to add replay value is to take these hats and just bit crush them. And that's, you know, not just because I was talking about this here in Walkus' track as well, but here, if you bit crush these hats and then have them come in clean later, or maybe just with a bit of extra distortion, you get the fact that the track stays homogeneous, so it stays as like one complete track, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, this is like all the same sound palette, but you get still some variety, and also it kind of leaves the full impact of the hats for when you really need them later, when you have these type of drops, you know, when you really want them to feel super potent. So that's one really actionable tip that's not going to take you a lot of time. I would say for this first drop, the bass, I see where you're going with this. The bass needs more distortion, specifically just to bring out, you may even just need to EQ it a lot to get those upper harmonics out, because it feels... I like this. This is a sound I associate with Born, because I don't listen to a ton of different UK-based artists, but he has a couple of tracks that are really, really deep like this. But it's just on every system, you can hear the bass coming out, even though it's a really subby type of sound. And I'm almost 100% sure that like on a pair of AirPods, this would not track. Like you would really not feel the bass. I also think the sub just needs to come up. I just think the whole bass needs to get fattened. And then for the second drop, it just feels like the direction is really unclear. And that was kind of, for me, what gives me the feeling like this is still like a very work in progress track, because I don't know, it's hard to tell what this drop is about. Like there's just a lot of variations, there's a lot of very decently different elements from each other, and there's no like this drop doesn't have like a protagonist or like a main element that you're supposed to orient around in the same way that like this has this bass, and like this vocal is complementing it nicely. You have these like cool crunchy grungly whatever the hell alien sounds going on. I also feel the same way about this intro, by the way, as I do about the outro. I feel less, it feels a bit easier to integrate than the intro, because the intro is the first thing someone hears, and so it's really important how you set up the listener for the whole song. And then by the time they're 3 minutes or whatever into a song, you have a lot of room to take it slow then. So this is cool, because like this is cool if you want to have like a cool like jungly type of outro. I'm down for it. Okay, let me read chat. Whew. That was a lot of talking. I'm doing a lot of yappage. You want the harmonics true multiband distortion? Killer's bitch crush. Just need some stuff to make it stand out. Definitely, it definitely feels like a something that was like a day or two of into production and not quite there yet. But I actually really appreciate you sending in this type of stuff for feedback. So get a lot of tunes that are like really, really worked on, and then it's kind of difficult to point out good places for feedback, and it's something that I do want to encourage people to do more. And even for myself, I feel like I don't do this enough. It's just like get feedback early on, because you may save yourself a lot of time by just getting feedback early and figuring out like, oh yeah, like there are some things I've left in tracks that have stayed way too long because I never showed it to anyone for them to be like why is this here? Like it, you get used to it, and then you're like, you don't think about the fact it's like, wait, why is this drum fill here, or like why are these sounds here? It doesn't actually fit anymore. Actual statement, you should check it with an AI though, just to make sure. Might not be that smart. Listen to this first. I sent another song in. I still need to add several transition tweaks and minor fixes, but I ran out of time. Oh, good. I just won't be too critical on that then. All right, let's take a listen. You also check the drop form for extra submissions. Really? Bruh. This is a great intro.
When you're sleeping, I can't stop thinking. But when you're dreaming, falling apart isn't good. I can change the way I see. I want it 'cause I don't wanna change your rising star. I choose this.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Oh, now we're gonna go into his drop. Yeah, let's go. Oh, this sound is beautiful, by the way. I love these like watery transients. So sick. Here I feel like it's just too long, but I think you know that. Nice lead. Oh, well, this is so good. Drag these into here. I have two references that I want to use. It's really funny because I've been listening to these so much, but the goggles emoji. Yeah, this is dope. I really like the direction of this. I like that we have a different chord sound from you. It's really cool to hear. The chord sound to me gives me this vibe. It's like this really distorted guitar sound. I think if you bring in more distorted guitar layers into this drop, it still sounds a bit synthy, but I think with one or two really distorted guitar layers, and I would make them not the entire chord. So whatever your chord stack is, I would take 3 maybe notes for each chord, or 2 notes maybe, and then have a distorted guitar layer in there, so you get like some separation in terms of like different notes being on different instruments. But I think that will really like complete especially the mids, and make them sound really organic and like beautiful. I find that when you have something that's like particularly synthy, complementing it with an organic element that's processed really strongly is super nice. I also just think organic elements processed a lot sound really cool. The other one I would say is like this song is super great at like capturing this like not like super foresty Botanica style, but like really like just leaning into this like really crazy like pseudo orchestral EDM, like having tons of details. So I would just take a listen to that a few times just to maybe get some ideas of how you can sprinkle in extra stuff to include here, because it definitely has the same vibe. It's just needs some more details, in my opinion. You missed a triple piano? What do you mean I missed a triple? Time to whip out Flex Universe. Yes, Universe. I had the chords more distorted, but I think I'm not sure if in your chords you had guitars, but if you did, bring them back, because like I said, just it doesn't need to be like the main sound, but that I'm pretty confident in my hunch here that would complete the sound of this chord stack. Also, just listen to the song. It's fucking awesome. The vocals are unreal. ID, Broken Signal, Whip. This is an idea right now. Any feedback would be awesome. See, Kelly B's really good at doing this. He sends me things that are like, he's like, yeah, I worked on this for 2 hours. And it's always a banger anyway, but... Drum and bass. Oh. Are you ready, London? Yo. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Bro, what DAW you're making these sounds in? They're disgusting. There's no way you're making this in the same program as me. Ew. Oh my god. What is that, bro? Listen to the... That... Wait... They're also wide too. I love that. Like, I love when basses have like really nice wide crunchy mids. I like that it's also not every bass is like, boom. It's like you have really, really good balance here. I feel like you're getting really good at finding the perfect contrast in terms of like how the different styles are sort of interplaying with each other space-wise, which is so good. It's still crazy to me that you like got like not a whole way into producing, and you literally were sending me like future bounds that I was like, oh yeah, no, this guy's like at the beginning of his journey, and now you're just this cracked. It's crazy. Need to be more transients on the snare, buddy. Does it? Yeah, it sounds like a clap. It definitely could be a little more tunk. I think also a little bit more body to the snare would be nice. But for that, you could go and find a cool snare, but I would recommend finding some other percussive element that isn't specifically already a snare, and make like a really nice tight little like drum out of it, because you'll get a really creative and unique sound out of it. Or you can just wait until more of my samples that are drum related come out, because I'm still working on making like more drum stuff. And so far it's slowly but surely turning out pretty cool. Like I'm definitely learning a lot. W plug. Yeah, if you want free samples every Monday on my Patreon, it's free. Just go sign up. The link is in the description. Amazing. This is super cool. There's really not much else to say other than just like complete this arrangement. It's kind of it. And yeah, I like this snare. Evan Scott interlude. We're so back. So back, everybody. Let's go. When's it happening, the sample flip? On Sunday. Unfortunately, I couldn't last week because of my tech issues. No functioning internet. Watermelon pan snare. What is that? Who's ready to ascend? I'm waiting for like the moment of ascension. This is really beautiful already. Absolute cinema pose. Oh, the chromatic shift. I think I got that right. My music terminology ain't that great sometimes, guys. This has to be for some like movie in like a snowy area, when like this is like some proper Disney stuff where like animals are running around and like get separated from their parents, and then like the Bambi finds its mother again, and that's the type of movie this is for. You know, like the little snow bunny like gets lost from its family and thinks about how terrible the taxes are in their region, that they had to run away, but they like pull themselves up by their bootstraps and like steal a bunch of carrots from rich people, and then they're reunited with their family. Capitalism, the movie. Okay, I'm like completely butchering this song, sorry. Wow. That ending though, holy, that hominess of that. When the bass hit it. I love this from Mr. Dion Knox. When the bass hitting? Because I don't know if this is a question or a statement. Album EP? Yeah, we literally need an Evan Scott album to play like while we go on a walk or like a hike. Be insane. Convolution reverb the whole thing and add an aim and break and boom. Yeah, literally just take this whole thing, speed it up by like 20%, like up like 7 keys, and then aim and break. It's ready. It's like complete juicer banger. It just gets chopped up. Be crazy. But genuinely, I think the only thing that really stands out to me as being something that I can be like, I don't know what's going on here is the strings. The strings feel really underplayed. It's partially, I think, the library, which feels like it's not the right fit for the sound. Because I think this library sounds a little too flat, if that makes sense. Like it just doesn't have a lot of movement and details at these lower like levels. It's like very quiet, and it just feels like kind of like this library was intended to be played very loud and like in your face, where you don't necessarily want that. So might be something where you either keep this and then layer in some more nuanced string layers, or you might just want to all out replace the strings if you can. You may also have some room to like delay some of the notes in the strings a lot to give it more movement. Send this to the Terraria Calamity team. Honestly, yeah. Like, your sense of composition, as I said many times on the stream before, is really strong. It's really strong. So, banger. I love this. Yeah, I think he said some stuff about the high-pitched piano notes. A little more dryness, with little dryness and more wetness. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have the whole thing be wetter overall, especially on those like high notes, to have like more atmosphere. But yeah, it would actually be nice, especially here for those super high notes, to have just like a little bit more, to have them ring out with like a soft reverb. Could be cool, but up to you if that's what you want. Same old track with different things. Yeah, alright. Yeah, it will. Alright, Mister. This is gonna be like the Giga workshop track of like the stream. Is like we're gonna be coming back in like 6 months, and we'll have like the final version of the song. We need the story of this song. I'm gonna head out. Okay, see ya. The mix is so much better now, holy! Yo, that goes hard! Yo! Oh, my favorite part, let's go! We're about to go hard. Ba-da-down. Yeah, let's go. Did we make the bass quieter? Why? More sub. Whoa. More sub. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, this part's still... This is better, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure where the bass went here. Or here either, like... Yeah, where is the bass, huh? Where is it? Okay, that section also sounds better. Okay, this is a wholesale improvement. I'm super proud of you. This is great. This drop mix sounds great now. Before it was like, and like lots of stuff. I'm super happy to hear it like sound really like full and nice now. Personally, on the drop, I still think the vocal chop here. This, especially for the fact that it's like kind of in the middle, which complements perfectly. You can have the chords wide and then the vocal in the middle. I would make that vocal way louder, like 6 dB, 8 dB until it's actually present in the mix. And let it be in the middle. You don't necessarily need to make it wide, although it'd be nice to try, I guess. But that's a lovely capybara. So real. The other thing here is in the break, the strings are just way too loud. Like they're literally as loud as your chords in the break, in the drop. So nerf these by like 6 dB, like make them genuinely like half as loud. Because yeah, you can't hear the vocal. It's like, you know, super quiet, like you don't know what this person is saying. I don't know what this person is saying. Wider in the middle. I'm not sure what you mean. If you're talking about the vocal and the drop, definitely more in the middle. That's sort of where we expect. The thing is, in order for you to make it wide, if it's a single vocal, you're going to have to kind of do a lot of processing to it that I don't think it's necessarily going to enhance the feeling of the vocal when you have those chords in there. Like, let the chords just be wide and leave space in the middle for just the vocal and the drums. Kind of reworking this track. I mean, this is already sounding really good. Just the bass here needs... That's me literally adding 8 dB of bass, and now it's starting to sound like, okay, now we're going somewhere, you know? Like, obviously, I'm adding a lot of volume, so it sounds more impressive. But, like, yeah, you have a lot of room to add bass. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. Max out sub to 10 plus LUFS. Yes, exactly. This guy gets it. Yeah, you have a lot of room with the bass. I would also see about adding some of those upper, like, or like, sort of those mids to the bass. Because it feels like it could be a bit crunchier. I don't want to like take you down the route of like completely destroying your bass though, because it's a solid bass. I just, in an ideal world, it also has a little bit more of those upper harmonics that make the bass feel full and not just like thick in the bottom end. Want for release this track? I also for real want you to release this track because it's really cool. Like this whole idea is really creative and cool. Like this is on its own. Like this is, I like the sort of Roy Knox vibes, but this whole component just like takes what is sort of a, okay, like this is a good track, I enjoy this, it has good vibes, but nothing necessarily like, there's nothing revolutionary in here, and it has an arrangement bit that just makes it super stand out, which I really like. You know, it sort of takes what is ordinary and adds something to it that makes it like, oh, I get the thing that I'm familiar with and I like with something new and refreshing. And this is what I want to encourage a lot on the stream. It's just like, you don't have to do 10 million new things, but at least do something new. Something about your track has to make it stand out. Ideally, it's a few things. And over time, those few things will just be things that you repeat in each track that are particular to you. So, your whole library will be like more and more similar to itself, but unique compared to the rest of the library of all of music, Yeah. Yeah. Facts. That's all we do. We fax people. We don't print anything. We don't send SMS, just facts. Emails, none of that. Anyway, I think that's all I had to say. Yeah, I mean, like this here also feels a little weak, but I feel like you just haven't gotten to this part because it sounds more or less the same. So when you got time, work on this as well. Get it to the same place as everything else. Burning. Okay, I'm very curious because your name is Expression Lo-Fi, so I wonder if this is going to be a lo-fi track or something else. Oh, yeah. I already like this. It's going to be so different than what we're used to listening to on this stream. Yo! My man has a sauce. Let's go. Bro cooked indeed. Oh, yo. I like how many elements you've incorporated in here. It's so nice. Oh, we get to switch up into different drums. It's not really different drums, it's just the piano. Super dope, super dope. I wonder if you have like a chance for like a double kick, like a boom, 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 something like that. Because I feel like at the end here as well, you have a little more room to just get like really groovy with it. But this is super dope. Super dope. Let me think. The biggest thing that stands out to me is like the vocal itself. It feels like it's so pitched that it honestly gets a little goofy at points. Especially when you have the different vocal notes layering on top of each other. It just feels like they're not tuned properly. Like they wobble out of key, and so it sounds quite goofy. This like that sounds like me singing and not like... The first thing I would consider is just trying to tune it, because it may just be as it gets to these upper notes that what used to be a small pitch fluctuation when you pitch it up might get accentuated really hard, and it might be like 40 cents off. Thank you, iLock. I'm so glad that we got a notification. That might fix it, honestly, because you may just need to tune it a little bit so that it just sounds like it's properly in key, or it may just be too high. What is going on in chat? Oh, double kick would be sick. I wonder if I could switch the drums in the end, like you mentioned too. Yeah, swapped drums would be cool. And I feel like keep the same pattern. You have realistically two choices. I think introducing a double kick every now and then is cute and isn't so much variation as long as the rest of the drum pattern stays the same that it's like overwhelming, especially when you've been listening to the same drum pattern for the whole thing. But I would say you kind of have always choices to make if you want to create a really balanced, nice track, which is I can change the sound or I can change the pattern. Sometimes you have enough room to do both. In this track, I don't think you do. I think if you're going to switch the drums need to stay the same pattern, but be like, you know, a different, maybe a fuzzier kick and like a different type of snare, but like, you know, maybe leave the hats the same. But that already on its own will create a whole different vibe shift. It reminds me of like, we don't like Kanye anymore at all, but like, he used to do this on his songs, which is like he would come in every day and redo all the drums for like a week. Or I think it was like every week, but they would redo all the drums on all of his songs completely from scratch, new, because it made such a difference. Just continuing to redo them until they found the right drums. Which is like why for a while he was like one of the best artists in the world. And now we don't speak of him, but you know, that Kanye is like mad respectable. Oh, I gotcha, and thanks. I drew the piggy a while ago. I thought it was the Vood. It is the Vood. I want to be this. I wanna hold this piggy. I was at the park today working out, and like this old dog came up to me, and it was kind of like the same size as this. It just sat there in front of me and was like, "Pet me now." Hello. I was like, okay. I just sat there for like 20 minutes petting this dog. It was such a vibe. If you ever feel like drawing a capybara, share bliss. I'd love to draw a capybara, and Kanye is talented. Unfortunately, true. Unfortunately. Yeah, if you join my Discord, by the way, like send us a drawing of your capybara if you ever do make it. This is a big vibe. I don't have a ton of mixing stuff. It like sounds tight. Maybe just like a few of the elements are like really loud in certain frequency ranges. They're all also quite mid-focused, so some of the timbres mean that the sounds are kind of on top of each other, but I don't mind it. You're doing a decent job of like even here, you're like spacing, using the stereo space to like give them more breathing room, so it works. This high string, super smart. Thank you so much. Of course, man. Thank you for sending this in. I really enjoy when we get to hear different stuff. It makes me very happy. Okay, let me check the submissions. Whoa. Did we hear this? I don't know. Okay. We got some doubles. We'll do these. And then Dobie sample appearance. Hell yeah. Kelly B collab, remember? Oh. That's a Haze intro. Oh, yeah. Woo-hoo. Oh, that's so punchy. Ah, so good. Oh man, this is what we get when you see somebody who's just mastered a style completely. It's so good. Although I'm curious, Kelly B, did you mix it? Because it doesn't sound quite like Hayes mixing, you know? Ooh, nice. I like that we're changing the timbres of the glitchy stuff going on. Down, You might want to hum some stuff over this. It would sound really nice with the reverb. Oh my god, this is so good. You guys need to release this. Oh no! Oh my god. There's no way I'll just whip that out of nowhere. That's crazy. Ew. Ew. What the fuck, bro? What is that? Ooh. Yeah, hummed stuff, process it, filter it, add reverb, it will go hard. Pitch it up by an octave, it'll be so good. I didn't know Hayes did this outro. Time to start humming. Yeah, like, genuinely. This outro is so good. This is giving me Outer Wilds vibes, which is one of the highest compliments I can give. It's like giving me that, though. Where's the 3 piano? Where is it? I see it! Give it to me! Ah! New variation discovered. This is brilliant. This is super brilliant. Like, honestly, there's not a whole lot I can say. I would listen. If I heard this, I would like it immediately. Like, I would add this. I don't even think there's much to do, because, like, everything... Oh, there is one note. The snare. This snare. What is this snare doing here? Explain this to me. Because maybe I just don't get it. But, like, this snare... feels so awkward. Like, it feels so awkward and like alone because it's so dry. If it had reverb on it, like the same reverb, make sure it's the same reverb as everything else is using, but because everything else is kind of like atmospheric, and then you just have this snare that's kind of in the middle here doing whatever the fuck this is. Here it's fine because it has accompaniment, so it's in the same space as other elements, so it feels cohesive, but on its own it just sounds weird. I like to use 10 different reverbs. Whoa. I don't think you'd like to use any reverb, to be honest. I know the music you make. You don't use reverb. I don't use reverb. You're like, oh, I used a chorus. This is amazing. Nah, but jokes aside. I just think once you deal with the snare, like either use a different sound in place of the snare or just process the snare differently, like add effects to it, and then you can, the cool thing is once you add effects to it, you can automate away those effects for when you don't want them anymore, so you can create more progression and more of this, like the story is driving forward and not here is an 8-bar loop and then it starts a new 8-bar loop, you know, you get like that connectedness. Not that I'm criticizing you guys for doing that. I think you guys are doing a great job in both of your tracks. Both of you guys are doing great jobs in your tracks of not doing that. Here is just an example of where you could do that. You use chorus all the time. Chorus is great. I feel like chorus is, for me though, one of the sounds I really have a hard time using. Like, I just like I like chorus when I can add it to elements that clearly just want to sound watery, and that's it. I feel like I'm not getting as much out of it as I could be. So it's definitely something I want to improve on. Serum 2 is goated. Yeah, that's true. I like it kind of. It's not my favorite though. I'm a bigger fan of like emulations of like analog synth choruses because they're really simple to use and they have a sort of very out the box really nice sound, and I just always find I have trouble whenever I mess with the chorus in Serum that like I just can't get it to the right setting that I want. So it's nice when you distort. Doing chorus and then distorting sounds good though. Same with like delay. Distorting on like a short delay sounds crazy. We got 2 more. I love this. Like, please release this. Like, please send this out to labels. And just aim as high as you want. And like, I hope you get somewhere really cool because it's a banger of a track. It sounds so good. Bobby. Originally sampled Flipper Simons. We flipped to Sender. I might actually fix this up and finish possibly. Okay. Thanks, man. Of course, dude. Da da da. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. That's nasty. Need my milk, you know. This is ridiculous. God damn. This is too spicy for me, man. I can't deal with it. You see the complexion of my skin? You think I can handle this type of sauce? No, but genuinely, I like spicy food. I like adding chili to my food all the time. Not that that counts as super spicy, but it's enough for me to handle drum and bass. Anyway, awkward jokes aside, this is a banger. Extend it. Like, I think the sounds here work. I do think it's missing a direction, though. Feels like you haven't quite found the it factor yet. It just feels like you have a good starting point. The flows for me don't yet hit in like a super catchy way, because the palette itself of the sounds is good. It's just not like I'm not going to be able to remember the flow of this in like 10 minutes, which is an issue. Like it's there's nothing to it that I'm like thinking about where I'm like, whoa, that flow was crazy. So Kelly B and I teacher, please. True. I wish Kelly B was my teacher. Alright, last one of the day, I think. Super wet, holy. Dalek here. Hey! There he is, my boy. You missed the bangers, bro. The piano mix, though. Oh, we're gonna get... No! No drop. Shame, shame, shame. Ah, this is cool. I like where we're going with this. The only piece of really actionable feedback I can give is like the ARP is good. Make it not just a saw. Make it either a really, really, really cool saw, or make it other sounds, or a saw with other sounds. You could do any combination of things, just not only this saw. Or if it's this saw, all the other stuff has to be crazy. But the main really actionable thing is the piano mix. One, this piano sounds like it has 2,000 million OTT on it. Get rid of that. Delete all your OTTs. If you're going to add an OTT, add one with 25% depth. Turn down the downwards compression all the way. This is how I like to do. This is where I like to start. Also, if you know how to, turn off the upwards compression on the low end, because this piano specifically seems to have a lot of like muddy low mids that just kind of sound icky. I think you should still EQ the lows a little bit to make sure that it's not getting too bad. But yeah, that's my feedback. Maybe I end up making trap, sure. Maybe Arcando trap. Yeah, that's a good fit for this, definitely. Something like Crystal Skies, also an idea. Arcando Atlantis. I haven't heard that track in ages, but yes. Wow, it feels like not that long ago that came out, but it's probably been a good while. Okay. That was the last one of the day. Banging stream. We got only bangers. Let me change this. Only bangers. I very much appreciate and missed y'all. Tomorrow is Sunday, and tomorrow we will do a sample flip. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'm not losing my mind. So if y'all have time, please come to the sample flip tomorrow. Same time as we normally do these feedback streams. It will be really fun. You'll get notified to it. There's an event in my Discord if you don't remember what time it is, or assuming you live in a different time zone, it will tell you what time it is in your time zone. So just go and click interested in it or whatever. You also just get notified if something changes or I can't do it on a certain day. I'll remove the event, and I'll obviously make an announcement. But yeah, hyped. Me too. Hopefully I won't make literal garbage like I did the last sample flip, which was genuinely so sad. It was so bad. My sample flip was so bad. It was terrible. It was genuinely gargantuanly bad. Yeah, I still remember it, but erase it from your memory. Do not go and look at the stream that is still up on my channel. Same I sold last time. Shut up. What do you... No. It's not even comparable. It's so bad. It's so bad that it's actually chilling. It wasn't the most amazing thing you've ever made, but god damn. You and I, we are not the same. Alright. I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. And I'll see you guys around later. Yeah, bye.